The MMTLP versus FINRA battle might be under the lens of United States Senate Banking Committee. So what do you need to know? Stay focused as we go through recent news as well as my match chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for regular stock market updates. Entrepreneur Hollywood Henry tweeted that the Senate Banking Committee might be observing the MMTLP situation actively, and he said that he will call them and confirm for himself if this is true or false. In our opinion, it's probably true because of the amount of lawsuits and complaints being filed in this regard, and MMTLP related tweets and posts are getting great attention with thousands of new viewers every day helping the cause. Attention is an important part of getting any success in this case because it requires a lot of pressure from all types of investors. With all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here now in the 1-day chart for MMAT, and as always we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off we'll get to the 5-minute chart. But before we do that, as always we'll talk about MMTLP and any recent update that I have. First up, a form has been updated on nextbridgehydrocarbons.com/investors. I'll leave the link down below in the pinned comment. So what you have to do is, if you held any shares of MMTLP, you have to go on there and you have to fill in the form and state the number of shares that you owned along with the brokerages, the brokerages that you used for those shares, right? Whichever broker you used to buy those shares, right? Your name, your email, and your mailing address. So with this, they'll probably try to verify, or not probably, they'll definitely try to verify how many shares have actually been transferred to MMTLP holders for NextBridge. Now, this was a massive issue, right? MMAT had recently tweeted that they've finally completed the dividend section, giving people their NextBridge shares, right? But what happened is that they gave brokerages the shares, but at the same time, a lot of people did not receive their NextBridge dividend, and that's why this form is being rolled out, right? So what this does is that people can now finally fill in this form and they'll try to verify if you have received your shares or not, and if not, they'll work on it and they'll try to fix any imbalances that there might be on, of course, the dividend part. At the same time, another update is coming from Rosa Towell. I have opened the tweet on my phone, right? So we can see that she said that in her lawsuit against, of course, FINRA, she has filed an emergency temporary restraining order, right? So what this does is that it requests the justice system, the judiciary, to put a restraining order on FINRA so they can't really do anything regarding the MMTLP situation, at least, right, for whatever time period might have been stated, right? Probably for a short period of time until things get sorted out, right? If you ask me what's going to happen now, in my opinion, there are two things to consider, right? First up, of course, we already got a tweet from Hollywood Henry that the Senate Banking Committee might be looking into this, and he hasn't replied to his tweet, if I'm not wrong. Let me check real quick, though. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not able to find the tweet at the moment, so well, I'll check that and pin that in the comment as well, so you can check it for yourself too. And at the same time, if we talk about what's going to happen now, in my opinion, it will be a big issue considering the fact that it will involve politics as well. Right now, anything, if it involves politics, it will get attention, right? Now, hear me out. I'm not giving you guys any legal advice or anything like that, any financial advice, anything, right? This is just my own opinion that if this thing, of course, financial rights and stock rights and what you do with your money, if these things are kind of brought up during a period of like elections or anything like that, then definitely it might make a big impact because, of course, at the end of the day, everything is run by the rulers, right? If I were to say that, and those rulers will do things to protect their rule, right? At the same time, um, if this is an issue, right, in their way to ruling people, then they most definitely will try to fix it. So, in my opinion, politicians will only pay attention to this once this becomes that big of an issue, right? And even Robert Kiyosaki, that it's for the same reason that he says that stocks and real estate, even though they're great assets, you don't exactly own them, right? You've just purchased them, and still the government has more power than you, of course, and they can do anything with you and your finances that they please, right? So that's, of course, one downside, and at the same time, we must continue to bring more attention to this. If you don't have a channel, sure, open up a YouTube channel, make videos about MMTLP if you want to, right? If you have free time, of course. And we have to do every possible thing to make this, as big as possible, so more people can see it, rise more, more eyes can get on this issue. And yeah, that's basically it, right? Try to spread off the good information. If you see a tweet that's important, share it with your friends, right? Share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, right? Any social media platform that you use. Probably post some TikToks about this, right? And because of course TikTok is a growing platform, and most people use TikTok nowadays, I believe. And it is a great source for getting attention to issues, right? So it might be a good idea to kind of make a TikTok account and make this trend over there as well. So, with that, of course, that's pretty much it from my side for MMTLP. Now, coming back to MMAT, we can see that we're, of course, falling down. We're down by 5.84%. We opened around 1.34. Now we're down to 1.29, right? We've been falling since the past 2 days. We did make a pin bar candle today. We had an inside candle yesterday, which of course indicates increased volatility again, and we did get that, right? Because it's not that strong of an inside candle. We didn't get much volume, right? This one was much stronger, and we did see increased volatility over here, right? Which was about a 6.5% jump, right? So that's of course a sign of increased volatility. Now that of course will come with a support level at 1.22 that we've discussed previously, right? So if you ask me what's going to happen next, in my opinion, we might break the support. Now, why is that so? Well, I believe that I think I tell this in every video that with the entire situation that's going on, MMAT is bound to go down a bit in the coming days, right? And it's not exactly a problem as such, but I do believe that investors do lose trust whenever controversies happen, right? Sure, most of you holders, right? You're in for it. You're right. You're not backing off. You're strong. But at the same time, there are people who back off, right? Let's be real. Let's accept it. There are people. It's the same people that leased off their shares to shorts, right? It's the same people that sold their shares at lower prices, right? Helped the shorts cover at lower prices. So these people will always exist, because if we talk about a free market, we can't really allow them, or rather, we can't stop them from doing anything that we would do in a different fashion, right? So then again, it's again a complicated thing, so I won't get into much detail about that. But at the moment, you can take it that I am not exactly bullish on MMAT for the current time being, right? Sure, on the long term, it is a good, it might turn into good stock if some parents turn out successful. But on the short term, I do believe that the stock will probably break the $1.2 support and fall below that. But of course, the rest, time will tell. All we can do is analyze the stock in a bit more detail. So let's jump on into the 1 hour chart. And now that we're in the 1 hour chart, we can see that over here we got most of our selling pressure, right? So this was 7th December and 9th December, going into 9th December. After that, of course, if we look at the current candles, let me find some pin bar patterns. First up, we did make a double top at 1.4. Now 1.4, of course, it's a psychological level. We did get supported at 1.35. I've always told you this, that MMAT has linear support and resistance, right? This is, of course, for psychological levels, right? So keep adding on 5 cents, keep on subtracting 5 cents, and you'll continue to get your support and resistance levels, because we're currently getting supported by 1.3, right? Under that, of course, we have 1.25 pretty much, right? So once we break that zone, next is 1.2, 1.15, 1.1, and so on and so forth, right? Now, if we look at the current trend, of course, right, the trend is bearish as well. Why did that happen? I'm sorry for that, right? So the trend is currently bearish as well, but I don't think it will last that long. Of course, we can see that we did get a bottom over here, right? Went up over here, down, right? Now this pattern doesn't really indicate anything, but it might be what looks somewhat like a reverse head and shoulder. Not exactly, but it looks somewhat like that, right? But I won't make any conclusions based on that because it's not a proper pattern, right? So even if you look at the volumes, we can see that we did get good volumes in the last candles usually. So I believe that today as well, we might get a good volume in the last candle, but because currently we are not getting any good volumes. So with that, let's move on into the 5-minute chart because we really want to see what exactly is going on over here. And now that we're in the 5-minute chart, we can see that we did go up a bit, right? We got a small breather. After that, we got two red candles, right? A pin bar pretty much. We made, we got resisted at 1.39, fell down, a triple top around 1.35 pretty much, fell down, and currently we got another small breather. And I believe the next candle will likely be green as well, and then we'll continue our fall, right? Well, trading we just lagged. I don't know why that happened, right? I'm sorry for that. So if we were to talk about a price target, I believe in a long-term position. Now this really has to do with luck and a lot of other factors as well, but I will just probably reiterate on my level of $10, right? I do see the stock getting to $10. Above that, it's pretty much a luck factor in my opinion because I personally, um, I haven't exactly seen the stock's movements since back in 2020 and, whenever the company started, 2020, 2021, whenever the stock started trading, right? So I, of course, haven't followed it since all the way back then. But at the same time, I do try to personally stay away from companies that have the high risk high reward ratio. I personally like to trade a bit with a bit less volatility, but at the same time, if this is your type, who am I to judge, right? All types of investors are welcome in the market. It's a money making hub, right? And you just need to know how to make money in it. And that's why I'm trying to tell you guys that markets at the end of the day need to be free, right? And free markets will always have people that do get manipulated, but that's just something that comes with it. Sure, short selling can be cut off, right? We can end or rather close off short selling as a whole, but I don't think that people selling their stock at a certain price can be closed off, right? We can't really do anything about that. But at the same time, all we can do is that we can keep our community strong, right? We can keep other people educated about the stock. We can keep other people educated about their financial rights and what they should be doing and what they should not be doing. With that, of course, I could be wrong. So remember that this most definitely is not financial advice or any sort of advice. And that's why you should always do your own research before you trade. And at the same time, if you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit that dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.